Hey, good morning everyone. Welcome to Sober Jable. I am Joshua Abel. If you're liking these videos, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell so that you get notification whenever I come up with a new video, which is almost every day. Now, I didn't post a video yesterday, not because of anything distraught. I was just chilling at home. I didn't really get on social media or check emails or anything like that. I was helping my sister and her husband Brian try and find a new car. Their insurance company is being kind of difficult with the rental, so they need to find a new car as soon as possible. And we found a couple of possibilities, but it's just been a difficult time for them. So I'm hoping that they find a car that's reliable and works well for them as quickly. But other than that, I just kind of worked on some Etsy stuff. I do have to go back to work today. Kind of a shame, but gotta get that money rolling in. I did decide to not pursue the Peru Peace Corps job, strictly based on my lack of ability to comprehend Spanish. I can speak it, I can write it, but listening is a factor. So I got an email from a recruiter for the Peace Corps for a country or an economic position in Senegal. Now, I'm pretty good with geography, but I have never heard of that country. I've heard of the country, but I didn't know where it was or anything about it. And I looked it up. It's in Northwest Africa. A third world country that kind of bases their diets on meal and corn and sometimes meat. But there is a French language requirement, and I have absolutely no training in the French language. I know oui and bonjour, and that is about it. So I emailed her back to let her know that and to see if that would be an issue. And I'm just waiting to hear back from a response. Today I am going to go to church, so I'm sure I'll have a topic later on this afternoon. And then I have to go to work at 3. So hopefully it'll be a nice, peaceful day. No adventures today, and I am definitely going to wear sunblock because I got an hour ride into work. But as you can see, the burn is kind of going away a little bit. It's not as clearly defined as it was a couple of days ago, so it's getting better. I'm having to put lotion on so I don't turn into a piece of leather. But I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you soon. We got back from church, and I've got about an hour before I have to leave for work. So I wanted to cut together a little video where I'm gonna have lunch and get on the road. But man, it was a struggle today to keep my eyes open. Every time we'd bow our heads to pray, my mind started getting foggy, and there was one time I almost drifted off to sleep. I caught myself before I started to snore. So I'm gonna have to not get up so early on Sundays from now on. But one of the messages, or at least an idea that popped in my head while church was going on, was the thought of doing sobriety alone. Now, I firmly believe that I have to do sobriety for myself. I've tried entering into sobriety for other people. Initially, I entered in to sobriety so that I could get my parents off my back. I was living with them at the time. I just gotten a DUI, and my life was at that time pretty crappy. And my mom was mad at me, my dad was disappointed at me, my family was disappointed at me. And so I jumped into AA, not necessarily for myself, but to appease them and kind of get them off my back. And then the next time, it was basically to save my relationship with Ryan. You know, I had picked up the bottle again, thought I could handle it, and went down a dark path with him. And, you know, there came a point where, you know, I was emotionally and verbally abusive to him, and we broke up. That lasted a couple of weeks, that breakup. And so I jumped into AA so that I could salvage that relationship and get him back and try and make my life better again. This time, I jumped into sobriety for myself, because I look at my life, or look at what my life was, and it was disgusting. It was, no one should have to live like that and feel the way that I felt, so useless and hopeless. So I am getting sober for myself. But what that doesn't mean is I have to do it alone. And in fact, I've never really done it alone. I jumped into AA. I had a good support system there. I've got a good support system here with family. And I've also joined online communities for sobriety and other Facebook groups, you know, just kind of expressing how I'm feeling and interacting with those people online. And it's formed a pretty good support system. Now, there's always more that I can do to boost up that support, to get more support. I can now that my moped's fixed, I can start going to AA meetings and really building a support system to help me improve and continue on this journey of sobriety. But sometimes asking for help is literally the hardest thing in the world. And for someone like me, who has always kind of prided himself on doing things alone, you know, growing up, I really relished in the fact that all the successes I had, I feel like I've done them completely alone. You know, if I wanted something, I was persistent and I worked really hard to get what I wanted. And that's a good attribute to have. That's a great quality to have, I feel. But it's not weak to reach out and ask someone for help. You know, in school, you know, I was always pretty good at school, but if I didn't, stupid bug, if I didn't understand something, especially going through online classes or even at the university, I could always reach out to help from the professor or from other classmates, especially when I was working in film. You know, creating a film, you never really do it alone. I mean, you've got a director, producer, editor, you know, all these different people who helped me create a single vision. And so I need to take that thought process and put it into my sobriety and other aspects of my life. I'm reaching out to help to get more information about this Peace Corps opportunity. You know, I reached out for help when it came to trying to get my moped fixed. I found someone who was more knowledgeable about the subject matter, and he guided me in the way that I needed to go, and now, lo and behold, the moped works much better. Same thing with sobriety, you know, reaching out to other people who have more experience, and even those who don't have as much experience as I do, and, you know, divulging what I'm going through, my thought process, my feelings, and things like that, in order to get a response, a different perspective on the subject matter. So while I need to do it for myself, I don't have to do it by myself. And that's a comforting feeling, knowing that there are other people out there going through the same thing, that I can help other people with issues that they are having, and vice versa, they can help me. So I hope you're getting value out of these videos. If you are, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell if you subscribe. So let me ask you, who do you reach out for help? To whom do you reach out for help? This bug is going to drive me crazy. Comment below. I'd love to hear about your support system, and I will talk to you later. Take care.